Hey, welcome. Today, we're going to do something a little different. Instead of trying to memorize all 40 minor arcana cards, what if I told you they all tell one single story? A story told through numbers.
So let's start with this idea. What if numbers could actually tell a story? I mean, what if 1 through 10 wasn't just, a count? What if it was a whole narrative arc, a journey that you and I go on over and over again?
All right, let's really get into it. The whole idea here is that the numbers in tarot, well, they map out the life cycle of pretty much anything. A new project you're starting, a relationship, a big career move, you name it. And we're going to follow that journey step by step from that tiny little spark of an idea all the way to the grand finale.
So Act 1, the spark of creation. This is all about where things begin, covering numbers 1, 2, and 3. We're going to see how a single idea grows into the first real steps of working with others.
And it all kicks off right here with the number 1, which in tarot you know as the ace. This is ground zero, the absolute beginning. So the aces are all about pure, raw potential. It's like a lightning bolt of inspiration just hits you, or a door you never saw before suddenly swings wide open. But here's the thing, and this is super important. That potential is powerful for sure, but it's also kind of unstable. It's just an opportunity, and it needs you to grab it and give it some kind of shape.
Okay, so you have this spark, right? But an idea can't just hang out by itself forever. It's got to connect with something else, or maybe someone else. And that, naturally, brings us to our next stop on the journey, the number 2. The 2 is all about partnership. That little lonely spark from the number 1, it's not so lonely anymore. It meets another one. This is all about balance, duality, that kind of creative friction you get when you merge two different forces. This is that moment you finally tell someone your big idea, or you see it from a totally different angle, or you're faced with a major choice. And you know what happens when you bring those two things together? Something brand new is born, and that's the energy of the number 3. This is the spot where you see the first real results of your journey. The 3s are all about creation, making a plan, and growing, because you're working together. Think of it as finishing the first draft, or actually writing down the business plan. See? Your idea isn't just a spark anymore. It's starting to become a real thing. All right, on to Act 2 of our story, structure and conflict. So we build something stable, but then it's almost immediately put to the test. Trust me, this is where the journey gets really interesting.
And we kick this off with the number 4, the number of stability and structure.
So with the number 4, you've built a solid foundation. This is a time to catch your breath, consolidate, do some deep work. But there's a catch, isn't there always? This stability can start to feel a little restrictive, maybe even a bit disappointing, like things aren't moving forward the way you'd hoped. That's just the universe giving you a little nudge, pushing you to grow beyond that cozy little box you just built for yourself. And that little nudge from the universe, well, it leads straight into the inevitable shakeup of the number 5. This right here, this is the major turning point of the whole story. The 5s are where your perfect, beautiful plan smacks right into reality. We're talking conflict, loss, and those really tough lessons you only learn the hard way. This is when your project hits a massive roadblock and you have a choice. You either adjust or you break. But hey, every conflict has to have a resolution, right? And that resolution, it comes with the number 6. The 6s are all about making a conscious choice to move away from the chaos of the 5 and towards a solution. It's about looking for harmony, finding a way to heal, and deciding to cooperate instead of fighting. This is that moment where you regroup, figure out a path forward, and finally see some light after all that darkness. And that brings us to Act 3, the path to mastery. Okay, so you've survived the big conflict. Now the journey kind of turns inward. It's all about reflection and summoning up that final bit of energy you need to see this thing through to the end. And that path, it starts with a really important pause, the number 7. The 7s are basically asking you to just stop, step back, reassess everything. Are you still on the right path? Is this goal you've been working so hard for? Is it still really you? Yeah, it can be a pretty lonely time, full of introspection, but it is absolutely essential if you want to move forward with real, authentic passion. And then, after all that quiet reflection, you burst forward. You come out of it with the decisive, powerful energy of the number 8.
The key word for the eights is mastery. This is about real, tangible accomplishment and taking fast, powerful action to get to that final goal. All that inner work you did with the seven, it's done. Now it's time to put those new, revised plans into motion, and you're doing it with skill and a whole new level of confidence.
And all that hard work, all that mastery, it brings you right up to the finish line. Or at least it seems that way. Welcome to the number 9.
So the main vibe of the nines is that feeling of almost there. You can see the goal, it's right there. The nines are about fruition, attainment, you've basically made it. But, and this is a big but, it's not quite the end. It's more like a final plateau. One last moment to look back and reflect right before you cross the finish line. It's that final big push before you can say it's truly done.
And at last, we've made it to the final act, completion and renewal. This is it. The journey is wrapping up, you're integrating all the lessons you've learned, and you're getting ready for whatever comes next.
And here it is, the number 10, the grand finale of our numerical story.
The 10s represent the total, complete fulfillment of everything that started with that one tiny spark, that ace. The project is launched, the degree is in your hand, the lesson has been learned. But look closely at that last part, transformation into a new beginning. Because the cycle is never really over, it's just complete. And that makes room for a brand new ace to show up and start the whole thing over again.
And hey, just as a quick bonus round, even the court cards tie into the story. It's pretty cool, actually. The pages, they bring messages, which ties right into the connection of the number 2. The queens, they're all about nurturing growth, just like the stability of the 4. And the kings, they bring order out of chaos, which totally echoes the adjustment you have to make in the number 5. See, it's all connected. So, as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with one final thought to chew on. Take a look at your own life right now, your projects, your goals, your relationships. What number are you on today? Are you at that initial spark of a 1? Are you stuck in the conflict of a 5? Or are you right there at the 9, about to cross the finish line? Definitely something to think about.